Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We're grateful to have you with us. If you can do us a big favor, give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, share, subscribe. Reach out to 25 of your closest friends and your phone, send them a text message, let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We are third only behind the Joe Rogan Experience and Dan Bongino show after his service to the United States in the deputy FBI director role. So thank you, Dan, as always, for your service. You're in the Secret Service and then in the FBI. Yeah, thank you for all that you have done and all that everyone is doing, not only here in the United States, but worldwide. We are, again, pushing that envelope, 100 plus countries, 1,000 plus cities. And it's because of you that we're here. It's not doesn't have anything to do with me and the organization. It's purely your demand. And we want to just say again, thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching, you're listening, you're in the United States, you're across the world. We love you. We are very gracious of you and your time and your friends and family and colleagues and loved ones. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the show. There's so much to talk about. We had really crazy winter weather last week, and so we're getting back into the swing of things, I guess you could say, with our recording, and we'll be doing some TikTok lives and just being where we belong right here in front of you, whether you're watching or listening. So, one of the topics I want to bring up because it is um, coming up. So we talked a little bit about the Olympics that are coming up in Milan, Cortina. Uh, that is coming up here, opening ceremonies within the week, as well as the American football Super Bowl, and we're gonna we'll tackle the American football Super Bowl uh, halftime show because it's been a very interesting part of controversy, I guess you could say. Not so much, I mean, I guess you could say on the player side of things, but we're going to cover the music. So we believe in culture more than politics, as you know. So it allows us, we also want to help over 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And so with the halftime show of the American football Super Bowl, kind of the pinnacle of advertising, where all year long companies are, if they have the budgets and they're able to afford it, because the costs keep going up, up and up, in a way, almost up and away, kind of like a hot air balloon or just a regular balloon. And so what we're finding and have found is so there is kind of this two-way highway, I guess you could call it. One way is the American Super Bowl halftime show. It is usually, I think, around like 12 minutes or so, plus or minus a few minutes. Uh, that's not what we're talking about. So we're talking about the entertainment. So who's actually going to fill up that 12 minute or 13 minute? halftime show. Once the halftime has come, the teams and coaches and everybody heads to the locker room. Then comes the staff to put together stages and in record time. And Bad Bunny is who is slated to be performing at the Super Bowl, American football Super Bowl halftime performance. And there's been so personally, I don't I don't really know many of Bad Bunny's songs. Maybe if I heard them and I put, if I associated with with Bad Bunny. Anyways, so there's this controversy of, here is an event that's on American soil uh and with the tragic passing of Charlie Kirk last year, his wife is uh has decided to basically have like competition for the halftime show, the entertainment portion. So there's going to be a halftime show that's going to be held on another network. I don't know that the network has been announced yet. If it has, I apologize. I don't I don't know. Uh, so that's what's going to happen is there's going to be two halftime shows. So there's going to be a halftime show at the actual Super Bowl and then on at a different location, and it might be very close to the Super Bowl location. I'm not sure what location it's going to be held at. I'm not sure what TV network is going to broadcast, what radio networks are going to cover, what podcasts are going to cover. Uh, and so there are these thoughts that Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, uh, is putting together. Yes, kind of like an all-American Super Bowl performance, the kind of rival uh, the the competition of the Bad Bunny uh, Super Bowl entertainment at halftime. And one of the big things I think is Bad Bunny speaks I think Spanish, and so that's I think the part of the controversy is like here we are we're having an event on American soil, and we're gonna have a an entertainer, uh musician that his songs, again, don't quote me on all this. I'm going off of what I'm hearing, is going to be performing songs in his native language as opposed to English. And so Erica Kurt and others decided, because there was one comment I remember Bad Bunny making, says, well, you have this many months to learn Spanish, learn his language. And I think that set a lot of people off. Again, we're not trying to take sides. We're just trying to share the facts. So he did say that. Bad Bunny did say that. And Erica Kirk and others, they decided, okay, well, we're in the United States, we're in America, so we're gonna have our own halftime show. And so there's different artists and musicians are coming together to do that. And I guess that's one of the parts that is is great about the United States is that we have the choice to do that. So we have the choice, and we're going to have the choice if we have access to a television or radio. etc., to pick. Number one, are we even watching the game? If we're not watching the game, then doesn't even apply to any of those of us that aren't going to be watching the game or aren't going to be tuning in for the halftime show. Then there are those that are going to just keep the TV station in bars and other places where the Super Bowl is going to be held, that they're going to cover one way or another a halftime show. And so they have the decision to make, uh, probably heavily based off of the patrons, the people who are visiting and spending time and money in those locations, who are going to probably dictate which halftime show is going to be shown at those establishments. And then there's those of us at home, or if we're going to a Super Bowl party, that we get to decide, okay, which halftime show are we going to watch? Are we going to watch the Bad Bunny show, or are we going to watch, the All-American halftime show? And so a lot of controversy, and it's coming up. So I just wanted to talk through we talk about decision making and self-improvement, that we were able to make the choice here in the United States. That's one thing that's great. We're able to have the choice. We don't have to watch it. If we want to watch it, maybe we just watch the game. So once it's halftime, we know there's going to be a halftime show, and then maybe we mingle with our guests, that if we're having a party, and we don't even watch, or we don't even pay attention to it, or we watch the show, the halftime show that is now scheduled for uh, the actual halftime show uh, of the NFL. And then we have the All-American halftime show. So we have choices, and we're able to make those choices. We're able to vote. We're able to say, okay, there's 10 of us here. How many people want to watch this particular halftime show? Okay. How many people want to watch the other halftime show? We're able to do that. If we're with our regular family unit, we're able to do the same thing. Kind of like, I want to watch this. I don't want to watch that. And we're able to do that. And so while, you know, I this ties into the Olympics and a lot. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so the Olympics coming up, very, basically kicking off this weekend, uh, is going to be held in Milan, Italy. Okay, so we're in the country of Italy. And so I'm just thinking, just as like I don't know, just a regular person, in the travels that I've had across the world thus far, that it'd be it'd be pretty rare to have a an American English entertainment when you're in a country, in this case, Italy. Instead, you're gonna have Italian culture, Italian language. Yes, it's going to be translated and here in the United States and other parts of the world. But it's going to be very heavily based on the Italian culture, the Italian language, Italian people. And that's where I think we have to just think and say, okay, we do. We support, we're for, voices for voices, no matter where you're at across the world. But each event, the organizers were able to choose and select who they want to perform, what the performances are meant to be. The opening, closing ceremonies has, in a way, uh, like a movie or a play atmosphere where there's a lot of theatrics and fireworks on top of the sound and the singing um and so I think that's where the American the American version of the American football Super Bowl halftime show is coming for that. Yeah, Erica Kirk and those that are kind of saying, "Hey, this is happening on our soil." It's not that we don't not that we don't maybe listen to particular artists. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means the teams are from a certain country. Most of the, no, say most, a lot of the patrons, a lot of people going to the game, American, and so we would think that we would have American entertainment, and we juxtapose that with the Winter Olympics coming up in Milan, Italy, where we're going to see the opening ceremonies, uh, part of which you have each country that uh, is competing in a lot of their athletes that are competing. Some if they have games, matches the next day, and they might not be at the opening ceremonies. They may be at the closing ceremonies. But all of that to say is we're really looking at kind of two situations, really, that are going to be happening in the same weekend. We're going to have the kickoff opening ceremonies in Milan, Italy for the Olympics. Heavily Italian culture, uh, language. Again, it will be translated. And so that's kind of to be expected. And that's why, the Olympics rotates around. So we can get more accustomed and learning more about other cultures. And then we take the other event, which is the American football Super Bowl. And some people have that same kind of mentality of we should be having American entertainment. It's up for everybody to decide. It's not up for me to decide. It- I'm not the end all be all. It's up to each one of us to decide what we want to watch, what we want to hear, if we want to watch or hear at all. We might not, or we may, but we're able to make those decisions. And I think that's really the key is we're able to make those decisions, that we do have choices. That's like I say with our show. Our show might be for somebody or it might not be for somebody, and that's okay. There's many, 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 many other choices and decisions that others can make and watch and listen to. That. if there's a topic, if there's a a guest, something we're talking about that you're like, all right, big deal, you can change the channel. That's what I do. Of course, we'd love to have you, and we'd love to have you watch and listen to our show more than not, but you have that choice of what you want to watch and what you want to listen to. And that really sums up our show here today. If you're watching and listening, is we have the Olympics held in the country, Italy, and we have American football Super Bowl happening, halftime show, a lot of which may be in a foreign language that's not English. But we do have the choice if we want to watch a different halftime show that is in English. And so I think those are just things that we should just think about. And that in part is self-improvement because we are making the decisions that we want to make, or we're having the process of voting and we have a say if we're, with a group of people that we can vote and say, okay, this many people said this particular halftime show, and this group of people chose. And it doesn't mean that we have to fight over it or anything like that. Uh, there's a lot of us that have these smartphones and we're able to tune in. And so if we're at a house party and uh, what we voted for isn't in a majority, we could go into the other room and turn on our phone and find that other performance very easily. And so we're a world of culture, different cultures, different languages, and in most instances, we are a world of choices that we're able to make. So if you can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, share, subscribe. If you're able to donate, we are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit charity. We would very much appreciate that. You can do that at lovevoices.org. That is lovevoices.org. That is lovevoices.org. And if you spell it out, it is LOVEVOICES.org. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. It's been Justin Allen Hayes, your host. We love you. We're thinking about you. And until next time, let's celebrate the voices of everybody and let's be a voice for you or somebody in need. We'll see you next time, everybody. God bless.